The Book of Revelation. For centuries, its very name has conjured images of fire and fury, of cosmic cataclysm and terrifying beasts. It's a book that has been a source of both profound fascination and deep-seated anxiety. We think of multi-winged creatures, monstrous beasts rising from the sea, and epic battles unfolding across the heavens. But what if these strange, powerful visions are more than just metaphors for earthly struggles? What if they are pointing to something far grander? Something that stretches our understanding of creation itself? Some scholars, theologians, and curious minds have begun to ask a startling question. Could the cryptic language of Revelation actually hint at life beyond Earth? Could intelligent beings exist elsewhere in God's vast, star-strewn creation, and is it possible that Scripture, in its divine wisdom, anticipated this very possibility thousands of years ago? In this reflection, we're going to journey to an unusual intersection, the crossroads of ancient biblical prophecy and the modern scientific search for extraterrestrial life. This isn't about making definitive claims or rewriting theology. Instead, it's an invitation to wonder. We will delve into the enigmatic imagery of Revelation, not as a roadmap to fear, but as a potential catalyst for awe. We'll consider what modern science is discovering about the sheer probability of life beyond our own planet. From the rovers on Mars to the thousands of exoplanets discovered inhabitable zones. And most importantly, we will reflect on the profound theological implications. What could it mean for our faith if we discovered that God's creative and redemptive plan encompasses beings far beyond humanity? How would that expand our concept of divine love and sovereignty? By the end of our exploration, you may come to see Revelation not just as a piece of apocalyptic poetry locked in the past, but as a timeless window into the breathtaking universal scope of God's kingdom, a kingdom that might be infinitely larger and more diverse than we have ever dared to imagine. Let's turn to the visions themselves. Revelation is a cascade of surreal, powerful imagery. Chapter 12, for instance, paints a scene of cosmic drama. A woman clothed with the sun, with the moon under her feet, and a crown of 12 stars on her head. She is pursued by a great red dragon with 7 heads and 10 horns, leading to a war in heaven, where Michael and his angels fight against this cosmic adversary. In other chapters, we encounter even stranger beings. The 4 living creatures around the throne, covered with eyes front and back, each with 6 wings. We read of beasts rising from the sea and the earth, commanding allegiance and wielding immense power. We see angels flying across the mid-sky, delivering divine messages and judgments to all of humanity. For nearly 2 millennia, the primary and most robust interpretation of these images has been symbolic. The woman represents Israel or the Church, the mother of the Messiah. The dragon is a clear symbol for Satan, the ancient serpent, the adversary of God and his people. The beasts are understood to represent corrupt and oppressive political empires, like Rome in John's time, and the spiritual forces of evil that animate them. This symbolic reading is rich, theologically sound, and deeply rooted in the tradition of Old Testament prophecy. It speaks a powerful truth about the spiritual battles we face and God's ultimate victory over evil. Yet, as our understanding of the cosmos has expanded, another layer of questioning has emerged. When we consider a universe containing 2 trillion galaxies, each with hundreds of billions of stars, a different kind of wonder takes hold. Could these visions, while being profoundly symbolic, also be gesturing toward realities beyond our immediate comprehension? Scripture often uses anthropomorphic and symbolic language to convey truths that are simply beyond the limits of human vocabulary and experience. God is described with hands and a voice, not because he is a physical human, but because it's the only way for us to begin to grasp his personal nature. Perhaps, in a similar way, some of Revelation's imagery points toward cosmic realities we are only now, with the help of science, beginning to imagine. What might seem purely supernatural or metaphorical to a first-century audience, or even a 21st century one, may simply be a description of a larger, more complex creation that God oversees. Could the war in heaven, or the creatures flying through the sky be poetic renderings of events or beings that exist on a cosmic, rather than merely terrestrial or spiritual plane? This line of questioning leads us directly to the world of modern science, which is actively and rigorously searching for life beyond Earth. This is no longer the realm of science fiction alone. Organizations like NASA and SETI are using advanced technology to scan the skies for signals and analyze the atmospheres of distant worlds. The discovery of exoplanets, planets orbiting other stars, has exploded in recent decades. We now know that planets are not a rarity, they are incredibly common. Many of these are located in what scientists call the habitable zone, the orbital region, around a star where conditions might be just right for liquid water to exist. And where there is water, there is the potential for life as we know it. While science can search for the building blocks of life and listen for signals, it cannot answer the deeper questions of meaning and purpose. That is where faith and theology enter the conversation. Faith invites us to imagine a creator whose creative power is not confined to a single tiny planet in a forgotten corner of the Milky Way. If God is truly infinite, why would his creative expression be limited to us? The psalmist declared that the heavens declare the glory of God, and perhaps that glory is declared not just by stars and nebulae, but by life itself, in myriad forms across the cosmos. If life does exist elsewhere, what would that mean for core tenets of faith, like Christ's redemptive work? Could Revelation's visions with their cosmic scope be a subtle hint that God's plan of salvation and restoration is far larger than we have ever conceived? Regardless of how one interprets the strange creatures and cosmic battles, one theme in Revelation is absolutely undeniable: God's ultimate and complete cosmic sovereignty. The book opens and closes with the declaration that God is the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end. The dragon, the beasts, the false prophet, the armies of the world, every force of opposition and chaos operates only within the limits of divine permission. They are actors on a stage, but God is the director, the writer, and the audience. Their time is limited, and their defeat is certain. This is the central message of hope in Revelation. Now, let's extend that sovereignty to the cosmic scale we've been discussing. Even if intelligent life exists on a million other worlds, God's power and authority encompass them all. Nothing in the entire cosmos lies outside his domain. Every star, every planet, every black hole, and any hypothetical civilization that might exist rests under the same sovereign hand. This perspective doesn't diminish humanity, it contextualizes it. We are not the sole focus of a small local deity. We are a beloved part of a truly universal creation, overseen by a God of infinite reach. This broadens our faith, transforming it from something geocentric to something cosmocentric. God's plan is revealed to be both intimately personal, caring for the fall of a single sparrow, and breathtakingly universal, holding galaxies together. So, how should people of faith respond to the possibility of extraterrestrial life? It's a question that can feel unsettling, but it doesn't have to be. Some view it as fruitless speculation, a distraction from the core message of the gospel. Others see it as a natural and exciting frontier for a faith that believes in a limitless, creative God. The key is to see that science and faith are not adversaries here. They are different tools for exploring the same magnificent reality. Science offers the methods for discovery, the telescopes, the probes, the data analysis. Faith offers the framework for meaning, the purpose, the hope, the relationship with the Creator. Revelation's vivid imagery can serve as a bridge. It encourages us to think beyond the familiar, to consider that creation is far more complex and wonderful than what we can see and touch. Could the dragons, beasts, and multi-winged seraphim be, in part, symbolic representations of realities, spiritual, physical, or perhaps something in between, that we are not yet equipped to fully comprehend? These visions are not a scientific textbook, but they are an invitation. They invite us to expand our theological imagination, to be open to the possibility that life, consciousness, and the divine purpose are woven into the fabric of the cosmos in ways we have yet to discover. Ultimately, whether or not Revelation contains literal descriptions of extraterrestrial life is not the most important question. The true value of this exploration is how it challenges us to think beyond our terrestrial confines. It invites a profound sense of awe, humility, and curiosity. To stand under a clear night sky and contemplate a universe teeming with possibilities is a spiritual act. It reminds us that God's kingdom is not limited by our solar system or our galaxy. His plan is universal. Contemplating the cosmos and the potential for other intelligent life within it can deepen our appreciation for God's infinite wisdom, his boundless creativity, and his personal care for humanity. It can expand how we think about salvation, grace, and authority, pushing us to see them not as exclusively human concepts, but as divine attributes that apply to all of creation, whatever and wherever it may be. So, could the strange visions of Revelation hint at life beyond Earth? The book remains silent on a direct answer, leaving us in a space of wonder. But as you gaze at the night sky, remember this: The God revealed in Scripture is a God of boundless imagination. His creation may be far grander, more complex, and more alive than we have ever known. If this exploration has sparked your curiosity and expanded your sense of wonder, let us know in the comments. Like and follow to continue exploring the fascinating intersection of faith, science, and the cosmic mysteries of Scripture.